Thanks, Julie. Well, we're coming up on the end of the third week of training camp. I can't believe 3 weeks has already gone by. It is flying by. But we are going to go behind enemy lines and take a look at how the other teams in the NFC East training camps are going. So we're going to head on up north and check out our first opponent of the seasons, the Philadelphia Eagles training camp. Now, we all know the Philadelphia Eagles are always a strong competitor in the NFC East, but so far in training camp, they have had a growing list of injuries. So far, they already have 4 players injured, one of them being their starting running back, Miles Sanders. Now, this is a huge hit to the team. He was expected to be one of the starting running backs, but he suffered a lower body injury. Now, we don't know the extent, but we do know that it is going to be checked out on a week-to-week basis. But we have to be careful of the offense. We all know how powerful of a weapon Carson Wentz is, but I'm sure that our defense can handle it this season based off of everything that I've seen so far in training camp. Now we're going to head a little bit more north and check out what the New York Giants have been up to during their training camp. We all know that Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback for this team, but last season he led the NFL in the most fumbles with 18 compared to Dwayne Haskins, who only had 3. Now, something that he's been really working on during training camp is his ball security, especially in the pocket. Julian Santana, while I was doing my research, I found something really interesting. According to a team reporter for the New York Giants, they said that it is still too early to tell how well their players are playing, and it's too early to judge the overall strength of some of these group positions. Now, by the third week, you would hope that you would have a handle and kind of a judgment on how these players are doing, but something that I do know is yesterday I talked about how ESPN ranked the Washington's talent under 25 at 11th. They ranked the Giants at number 2. So we're going to have to look out for the young players like Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence. But, I think we got it undercover. Now we're going to head down south to Dallas and check out what the Cowboys have been up to. Some of the biggest news out of Dallas this week was the season-ending injury that Gerald McCoy had. Now, something interesting to take note of is in McCoy's contract, it states that if he had a quad injury, he could be released from the team. And that is exactly what happened, and this is a huge hit to the Dallas Cowboys defensive line because he was supposed to be the biggest asset to this defensive side of the team. Now, a similar situation is happening down in Dallas like it is up here in Washington. They are operating under a brand new head coach. And according to a team reporter down in Dallas, he said that the practices have been at a much faster tempo than they have been in seasons past. So Julian Santana, it'll be really interesting to see how this Dallas Cowboy team plays under a new head coach. But we're going to bring it on back home to Washington and keep you up to date with everything that has been going on at training camp. Something that we've always talked about is how much depth that this team has. And the practices have been at a much faster tempo than they have ever been. And the intensity that these players have been playing at and the intensity that these coaches have been coaching at is just absolutely insane. We have not seen anything like it before. So Julian Santana, this leads me to the big question. Based off of everything that you just heard and based off of everything that you have seen so far here in Washington at training camp, how do we think this Washington football team compares to the competitors in the NFC East?